Eminent Gold is a Nevada-focused gold exploration company pursuing world-class gold discoveries using new concepts and modern exploration methods. We have assembled a premier portfolio of 4 gold projects, including one at the intersection of the 42 million ounce Getchell and Battle Mountain trends, 2 within the prolific Walker Lane trend, and 1 adjacent to the world-class Round Mountain mine. I'm Paul Sun, President and CEO of Eminent Gold Corp. As a trained mining engineer and past mining banker, I've seen a lot of exploration projects, and I can honestly say this is the most exciting opportunity I've seen in my career. Our core technical team is composed of 3 PhD geologists who are all based in Nevada with deep expertise in Carlin-style and epithermal gold systems. Our chief geo, Dan McCoy, has over 30 years of experience and multiple gold discoveries under his belt. Justin and Ajit Milliard brought Eminent its first project, Hot Springs, and come to us with over 22 years of exploration and production experience from major mining companies.
Hi, I'm Dan McCoy, Chief Geologist of Eminent Gold Corp. I've led technical teams that have made 2 multi-million ounce discoveries in the past. And what I learned from that is that geologists who can make those kind of discoveries have to have 3 characteristics. They have to dream big, they have to think outside the box by using new techniques, and they have to get it done in the field. I am happy and proud to be working with Justin and Ajit Milliard and with Luke Schrantz because they have those characteristics. But I'm not going to belabor the point any longer. I'm going to let their words and their diagrams speak for themselves.
Hi, Justin Millard, VP of Exploration for Eminent Gold Corp. The Hot Springs Range project, or as we refer to it, HSRP, is a direct analog in the neighboring Turquoise Ridge District of Nevada gold mines. This district is impressive, with a 42 million ounce gold endowment and growing. As Paul mentioned, HSRP was a maiden project in Eminent's portfolio, and it was acquired based purely on the robustness of the conceptual target. And this target was generated in the brainstorming session of 3 University of Nevada Reno graduate students, myself, my wife Ajit, and our fellow student Luke Schrantz. Ajit will tell you a little bit more about that story.
Hi, I'm Ajit, Senior Geologist with Eminent Gold. When both Justin and I returned to graduate school after working in industry in exploration and production geology, we had returned with very specific goals in mind about what we wanted to accomplish and what we wanted to study. We each had designed our own research projects to answer very specific questions relating to gold deposits in the Great Basin. The largest of which was to understand the mechanisms that control where and how hydrothermal gold deposits occur in the Great Basin. Cumulatively, we were leveraging 14 years of academic research on hydrothermal gold deposits. In doing so, we identified a specific location where all of the factors that influence hydrothermal formation of gold deposits and a potential gold system were overlapped on the same piece of ground. This was a location where there were no present or historic mining. There's no known deposits, and there were no active claims. So we took the next logical step and we went to the field to check the rocks out and also put some stakes in the ground. While in the field, we made some observations of key factors that could indicate there might just be a Carlin-like gold system in the area. During our 10-year UNR, one of our colleagues was working on research that was related to mineralization at the Turquoise Ridge deposit. This research proved very useful in our light bulb moment that in fact HSRP does contain the potential to host a similar mineralizing system. Of the 10 initial samples that we assayed during using our graduate stipend, 2 of those contained significant gold. And for us, that was considered a technical success and an even stronger indication that perhaps we were onto something at the HSRP. The next step in the exploration effort would be to do a more widespread sampling survey in the form of a soil survey. And this was something that our graduate stipends just weren't going to be able to cover the cost of. So it was time to put our idea to the test and see if we got any bites for financing by the industry. So through the industry network that we had developed during our time in Nevada, we found a very receptive and supportive team in Canada that not only optioned the project, but graciously offered to hire us on post-graduation in 2020. Today at Eminent Gold, we're focused on exploring projects in the Great Basin from a new perspective. We have since added 3 new projects to our portfolio that we believe have a unique and overlooked opportunity for discovery. So now a little more about the HSRP from Justin.
HSRP is hosted in a near identical geologic framework as the Turquoise Ridge District, with similar host rocks of carbonates and mafic volcanics and a similar structural fabric of feeder faults, cross faults, and thrust faults. The main difference is that HSRP's host rocks are covered by a thicker blanket of younger, unmineralized cover rocks and sediments. Fortunately for us, and you the potential investor, the very western portion of the Hot Springs Range in our Otis area, mineralization is exposed, but had not been sampled until recently, when 3 precocious graduate students chased a dream. We are now zooming into the Otis area, and will transition to viewing a simplified 3D geologic model of the Otis target and the Phase 1 drill plans to test the northern structural block. Color balls are surface rock samples. Warmer the color, the higher the gold concentration. White lines are planned diamond core holes, and rainbow colors are the geophysical gradients from our CSAMT survey. We will follow a similar theme in geologic models throughout the video. Our initial holes will test mineralization where the primary feeder faults, cross faults, thrust faults, and host rocks coincide with the strongest conductivity anomaly. We are now flying 8 kilometers east to Eden in the Phase 1 drill plans to test this blind target. Eden is analogous to Otis, albeit at Eden there is no bedrock exposures of mineralization. Instead, active normal faults with young scarps on the surface are geochemically anomalous with gold, arsenic, antimony, mercury, and selenium, with selenium being an indicator of the presence of hydrothermal sulfides at depth. Further, geophysics identifies a large conductivity anomaly above the inferred thrust at depth, a signal of potential argillic alteration similar to that observed at Otis. We are now flying 300 kilometers south to the Spanish Moon Project that is adjacent to Kinross's world-class Round Mountain mine with an endowment greater than 29 million ounces. The Spanish Moon Project is unique as the complex geology allows the land package to contain multiple adjacent and overprinting mineral systems. Our team has chosen to focus our efforts on the Meadow Canyon target area as the chance of a discovery of an epithermal system analogous to Round Mountain warrants the burden of permitting drilling in this jurisdiction. Meadow Canyon is a conceptual blind target of a Round Mountain style epithermal system originally conceived based on USGS mapping and geochemical data that was later verified by mapping and sampling done by Eminent's technical team. Soil sampling identified an anomaly in the flower area that vectored northeastwards beneath younger cover rocks on the margin of the caldera, in a structural setting analogous to Round Mountain. Phase 1 drilling at Meadow Canyon will drill beneath younger volcanic cover exposed at the surface to test if older volcanic units and basement rocks along feeder faults are mineralized. Successful drilling at Meadow Canyon will warrant subsequent permitting efforts for drill testing of the Antone Canyon and Barcelona targets. These targets host separate occurrences of sediment-hosted gold mineralization and intrusion-related silver mineralization, respectively. Eminent's Gilbert South and Weepah projects occur in the Walker Lane trend. Flying 100 kilometers to the southwest, the Gilbert South project is a low sulfidation epithermal system. These systems are often characterized by narrow, high-grade veins. The neighboring Monte Cristo and Eastside properties of Hecla and Allegiant Gold similarly host low sulfidation epithermal mineralization. At Gilbert South, Eminent's technical team has taken multiple surface samples grading up to 1 ounce per ton gold, supporting the exploration thesis for bonanza-style veins to occur at depth. 3 vein systems have been identified, each with greater than a 1.5 kilometer strike length. They have never before been tested for bonanza-style veins at depth. These vein systems are the Pretty Boy, the Bighorn, and the EB structures. Legacy drilling has focused on shallow, less than 100 meter depth, bulk mineable targets and overlying volcanics. Eminent's goal is to drill test the greater than 150 meter depth of these structures where the basement rocks of silicified siltstone are ideal to host open fissure bonanza style veins. We are now flying south 25 kilometers to the Weepah project. Weepah is unique in the portfolio as it is the only project with a history of notable mining, with 117,000 ounces gold being recovered from the Weepah shear zone. Weepah can be characterized as an at-surface oxidized gold system. Eminent's technical team has identified the mineralization as a result of two separate gold systems overprinting one another: an older orogenic shear zone related system and a younger low sulfidation epithermal system. This insight has led to the identification of two new targets, the Central Pediment Fault Zone and the East Weepah Fault Zone. Phase 1 drill testing will include a series of diamond core holes across the Central Pediment Fault Zone to see if grades seen in the open pit continue eastward along its 500 meter strike length. And Phase 1 drilling will also include a series of sonic drill holes to test if shallow mineralization previously drilled at East Weepah continues along the 1.5 kilometer strike length of the East Weepah Fault Zone. This fault zone is buried beneath 5 to 30 meters of post-mineral gravels. For additional information, check out our webpage, 43101 Reports, watch our other videos, or contact our investor relations.
Thank you for learning about this exceptional opportunity.